It's game 2 of the National League Championship Series at American Family Field. I'm Dominique Yates. I'm joined by J.R. Radcliffe. It's game 2 between the Brewers and Dodgers. And J.R., you kind of mentioned it in game 1. The Brewers, you can say it's kind of fascinating that they had all kinds of chances and opportunities to win that game, but they still couldn't, even though they played poorly at times. So if anything, maybe it gives them some type of confidence heading into this game.
Yeah, Pat Murphy talked about this before game 2, that they probably didn't deserve to win that game. They were dominated by Blake Snell. He faced the minimum over 8 innings. It was like a truly dominant postseason performance, and yet they almost stole it. They almost stole that game in the 9th inning, and if they had, how the vibes would change going into this game and the rest of the series to have taken a game that realistically they should not have been involved in. So they didn't get that done. They weren't able to get the big hit. They're going to need to get a big hit at some point in this series. But as for tonight, you just circle the wagons a little bit. Unfortunately for them, the Dodgers have a lot of starting pitching. It isn't just Blake Snell. They got Yoshinobu Yamamoto tonight. They're going to have Tyler Glasnow and Shohei Ohtani when they get back to Los Angeles. This is a very difficult staff to score against, but if you want to get to the World Series, you're going to have to score runs against the very best pitchers in baseball. That is what they're up against. So they did have success against Yamamoto in the regular season. They chased him in the first inning. That was not a normal start for him by any means, but if they can get to that bullpen where we saw it in game 1, there's a vulnerability there. If you can get to that bullpen, it is a totally different game, and the Brewers have to feel good if that starts in like the 6th inning.
Yeah, and it's going to be big because Jake Bauers even said it best that there's no comparison when you look at the pitching rotation that the Dodgers have, but they're going to try to have some of that confidence going into it. Now, on the Brewers side at pitching, Freddie Peralta, he'll be on the mound. What did you see from him not only in Chicago, but when he has kind of faced some of these type of competitors like the Dodgers?
Yeah, he's their guy. He is their one ace starting pitcher that you figure that they can rely on. Now, you didn't see that in Wrigley. You saw, he made it 4 innings. He had a really rough first. He bounced back a little bit, but he is so much better here. He's so much better at home. Normally, those are splits that you kind of ignore. They come and go, but I don't know, there might be something to it here for him. And so to get him on his normal rest here at American Family Field, I think is very useful. I think part of the equation of having him start game 4 in the NLDS, which was a tough call, was that you would have him back for one of these 2 games in the NLCS if you advanced. So he has to work deeply into this game. They used a lot of relievers in a loss last night. Abner Uribe's worked a lot lately. He's their closer. I feel like they need 6 innings out of Freddie Peralta. That's a huge ask. I'm not sure they're going to get that. But, if they can get somebody working that deep into the game, that's going to settle a lot of things down. They got an off day tomorrow. They can if they take this game, they are absolutely in this series. They won all 3 games in LA this year. They can absolutely win games in LA. But it does feel like you kind of got to be 1-1 for it to just feel that realistic, I think.
Yeah, and Pat Murphy really said it best. You have to steal one of these games, especially at home, before you head to LA. So finally, JR, if there is a key or maybe even keys to this game in order for the Brewers to tie up this series, what would it be?
Well, they have to put the bat on the ball, which they did not do against Blake Snell, or if they did, it was soft contact. They need home runs, they need drives, they need doubles to the corner. You saw Jake Bauers in the 9th deliver the 1 extra base hit that the Brewers had in game 1, and how that ignited everything. They need some thump, some pop. That's what got them wins in game 2 and in game 5 against the Cubs, and really to some degree game 1 where they didn't homer but scored 9 runs and started with 3 straight doubles. You got to see some of that. You're going to get it. You're going to get it from time to time in this series, but it's got to come against some really good pitchers because that's all the Dodgers are throwing out of the starting rotation. And get to that bullpen. I keep thinking bullpens are random enough, but the Dodgers are really trying to prove me wrong. Their bullpen is struggling, and it struggled in game 1. Get to that bullpen, and the confidence level is going to go sky high.
Yeah, so it's going to be big because the Brewers, they've done a really good job all season long in responding after a loss. And I think Pat Murphy said it best. They haven't had longer than a 4-game losing streak, you could say, this whole season. So it's going to be something really big heading into this game because, like you said, you definitely have to steal one of these games at home. And it's game 2 of the NLCS here at American Family Field between the Dodgers and Brewers. For J.R. Radcliffe, I'm Dominique Yates.